Hello everybody and welcome back to Benjamin Magnus Plays Civilization Beyond Earth. And quite frankly, I don't know how many more episodes of this game I'm going to be able to put out. I was full on planning on having this being a long-running series to parallel Crusader Kings 2, something I could do without a definite end date, and I could, end one and start up another one, and, just keep going. But I quite frankly don't know if it's going to be possible with this game. Because, to be blunt, I'm not having nearly as much fun with this as I thought I would. Like, I hope you can tell at least, when I'm playing Crusader Kings 2 or, like, Kerbal Space Program, I'm having a blast when I'm playing those games. Just, I'm having fun. And then I'm, like cutting and editing and rendering down all that fun into condensed little episodes for you guys to enjoy. That's why I'm doing this. And this is a hobby of mine to something to do on my off time that doesn't cost a crap ton of money. And I really hope that you guys are enjoying this, and I feel like you're enjoying it if I'm enjoying it. And that's why some series have been started and then just trailed off. You might not have been around for some of those, but they have. And Crusader Kings keeps going strong because I just have so much fun with that game. And Kerbal Space Program, while it comes out sporadically because it takes at least like a minimum of like an hour and a half of gameplay, and then a ton of editing to boil that all down into an episode size bite there. That I don't have time in the day sometimes to spend that much time recording an episode continuously of Kerbal, which is why they're a little more sporadic. But I do have fun playing them, which is why I keep doing them once or twice a week or something like that. Okay, create a spark. We can thorium reactors or production from thorium reactors. Let's go production from thorium reactors. And what was I talking about? Having fun while I'm recording. That's what I was talking about. So, like, Crusader Kings 2, I'm obviously having a blast. That is one of my all-time favorite games. Kerbal Space Program, having a lot of fun because there's a lot of the game that is still new to me, especially getting to the outer region. Like, I can get to the moon and I can get to Min-Miss fucking easy. Getting anywhere else is I'm having trouble with, and you can tell every single episode is me fucking up at the end, which is kind of funny, actually. Let's try one of these miasmic repulsificators, and we have a virtue. So, ooh, more health. And this... I kind of like this because there is the synergy bonus for going down, and there's a synergy bonus for going across, which is kind of cool. I like that. It kind of like urges you to branch out a little bit into different things. Where in Civ 5 it was also good. It wasn't any better or any worse in my opinion. That you were encouraged to get to the end and get like the big bonus. And I completely lost my train of thought again. I know I was talking about having fun with games, but let's just pick it up here. I'm not having half as much fun playing this as I am other games, and that's that. I'm willing to admit it's part my fault, maybe that this game just doesn't fit me. Quite frankly, it feels like it was built for a demographic younger than me. I am 27 years old. I've been playing Civ since I was probably 8 or 9, something like that. And I expect a level of complexity in these games that I don't feel exists here. This feels like a cartoony, dumbed down, reskinned Civ 5. And maybe that's great for some people, but it's not great for me. I expect my incarnations of games to improve and experiment upon the ones that came before them. And one of my all-time favorite game franchises is the Total War series, and that is a really good example of improving and experimenting. Every game, like for the longest time, every game was 2 steps forwards and then maybe 1 step back. Maybe something didn't work. Empire, huge step forward in terms of graphic engine, and what are we going to build here? Let's actually go for social development, get a little more culture going. Huge step forward in terms of graphics and the visual appeal of the game, and the tech tree, and what else was there? Upgrading. Let's actually try to work this over here, and upgrading your men you know, the personal characteristics and earning personal traits based on what they did. Huge step forward in that. That really added a level of immersion. And then there was the step back of in Empire, other than the completely bugged out of its gourd launch. Pardon me there. It was completely buggy at launch, but they fixed that pretty quickly. There was the problem of the collision physics in that there basically weren't any individual unit collisions. It was units came together and they just formed like a blob and people clipped through each other. But that's because the engine was built for line infantry combat. It wasn't built for melee combat per se. And that was the step back. It was a couple steps forwards and then like a little step back, you know, the buggy launch and the combat is great on one side and not great on the other. Shogun did the same thing. 2 steps forward. Beautiful fucking game. Tons of immersion. You're immersed up to your eyeballs in that game. The turns take place over weeks and maybe months, so your characters don't age out of the game. You could have a character for almost the entire campaign, so you really get attached to these people, and you don't want to lose your rank 5 ninja. You don't want to lose him. If you on some stupid mission, no nonsense mission, you don't want to lose him because he's been with you for so long and he's getting old, but he's still this wise old ninja. You still send him on good quests, or you don't want to lose your heir because he has good qualities. Free maintenance for water refineries? Yeah, let's do it with free maintenance. And the skill tree in Shogun 2, absolutely amazing. A full-fledged out skill tree branching and getting bigger towards the bottom. And then Rome 2 comes out and it's like 1 step forward and 10 steps back. I don't even want to, I know if I'm going to start talking, if I start talking about it now, it's going to get bad. I'm just going to start ranting, and we actually had that queued up, so it's going to go to photo systems. But, like, in Shogun, all the information you could need was at your fingertips. It was never more than a click away. Everything was here. It was 1 click away on this page. It was in this tab. It was easy to find, intuitive to get to, and you didn't have to waste time doing it. And in Rome 2 is tons of information buried in menus and context menus and contextual menus and buried and over there, and the unit cards all look the fucking same, and combat, it was the most bugged piece of shit I've ever played. I'm ashamed to say I paid for that game. I pre-ordered that game and paid for it for the launch day piece of shit it was. And it was still shit months after launch, like 11 patches in or whatever it fucking was. And I can't keep talking about that game because I'm going to rant forever. But if you played Rome 2 at launch, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking liars, all of them. I mean, the developers. What they said that game was going to be is not what they delivered. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Hype. Here's your polished turd. This is not a standalone $50 game. It isn't. It is a streamlined, like, slightly less intuitive reskin of Civ 5 is all this is. And I feel like any episode, and I'm going to try to get at least 10 episodes in this, and hopefully I can, in some of these episodes, at least talk about the gameplay a little bit more, a little bit what's going on, but quite frankly, it's really, really fucking slow. Like, arbitrarily slow. Like, look at this, there's nothing happening. It's just turn, construct, then build that, whatever, turn, construct. Wait till I get a little bit more health, and maybe I can plop down another city over here. Whatever. And so I feel like that maybe going back and playing Civ 4, because Civ 4 was probably the best game in the series. Civ 3, Civ 4, those were the best, I think. Civ 4 is probably the best. The Colonialization, I think it was called, that was a little weird, but Beyond the Stars was cool. Cool twist on things. But it's still an amazing game. Good AI, great graphics for the time. You know, intuitive, simple, yet, you know, complex in depth. Good pacing. And Alpha Centauri is something I might want to try to pick up. My satellite's about to deorbit, and I believe that if we go here, not this one, right? Oh, this guy doesn't stay up. Only stays up for 15 turns. So yeah, it was that guy it was talking about. And Alpha Centauri, if I can find my copy in a box in my closet that hasn't been opened in 3 moves. You know, all my software got packed up into 2 boxes, labeled, taped up, moved from where I lived in New York down to Florida, moved from my first apartment in Florida to my current apartment in Florida. Hasn't been open yet, and I'm almost positive there's a copy of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri in there. So I might end up replacing this with that. I was thinking about playing Dwarf Fortress again. I haven't played it on screen, and I haven't played it in a couple of years, but that game is fun. I think some of my viewers will really enjoy seeing that. Maybe I'll pick up, what is it called? RimWorld. RimWorld's a good game that's still in alpha right now and is super fun to play. Just, I don't feel like this game has the, like the draw to be a long-term running series like Crusader Kings is for me. I think I said that before. That was my plan, is this game was going to run parallel to Crusader Kings 2 for the long run. And pardon me one second. I had to shut my patio door. It is a beautiful, like, 60-degree day in Florida here, but unfortunately my neighbor is chain smoking in his patio below me, so I had some cigarette smoke wafting into my apartment. Okay, and I see now I completely lost track of my rant. Oh well, I do tend to... I don't know why, but this game is just lending itself to me ranting. And it's not a bad game. I know I keep harping on it, but for what it is, if you've never played a Civ game before, you'd probably dive into this and be like, this is fucking awesome. But that's exactly how I felt about Rome 2. If you've never played any of the previous games, yeah, it's awesome. But if you know what it's coming from and what we have now, then it's not that great. And that is starting to happen a lot with franchises that I've liked in the past. It's just like, as I'm getting older, the game developers are like, we don't need the older guys who already like the games. What we need is the younger generation, the like 12 to 18 or 16 to 20 year olds or whatever they are, to like these games. So let's shoot for that demographic. And that demographic wants them smooth and sleek and streamlined and easy. And maybe I'm completely wrong there, but that's how it feels to me, because it's happening more and more and more. Don't even get me fucking started with the DLC whoring, by the way. Paradox, the guys who make Crusader Kings, they're full-on guilty of it, of DLC whoring. But it's like, they'll come out with like a really good DLC for $10 or $15, and then whore out $10 more worth of stuff that's not necessary, like skins and music and stuff like that. Stuff you don't have to buy, and I generally don't buy. Alright, explore units gain additional expedition modules or science from laboratories. So we're going to go with science. DLC whoring is a sore subject for me, and so many games are so guilty of it. Again, okay, we're going to keep coming back to this, because Rome, there's so many reasons I hate Rome 2. And the DLC whoring on Rome 2, just day one content DLC. Are you fucking kidding me? You gotta be shitting me on that game. Day one DLC. They took something that could have been packaged into the launch, cut it out, and sold it for an extra fee. If you want to go and buy Rome 2 right now with all the DLC, $120. I shit you not. 120 fucking goddamn dollars for that game and all the DLC. It's ridiculous. It is uncalled for. It's fucking criminal if you ask me. And that's what a lot of games, and I could be completely wrong, but a lot of games are starting to feel like that to me. That it's not a game, and then DLCs are little chunks they made afterwards to extend its life. It feels like the game is an empty framework, and the DLCs are what make it a game. And that is not the right way to go, in my opinion. I lost an Explorer or whatever. And that's what this game is feeling like to me. This is the framework, and the DLC is going to be all the construction material that make it, that, you know, finish the building and turn it into a game. And then there are games where it kind of falls on the fence, like Borderlands. That feels like a full goddamn game to me. But they do plan on doing, you know, DLC, like 5, 6, 8 DLC packs for all those games, whatever. Because you can, before the game comes out, you can buy a season pack for it. So they're planned, they're in the works, they know what they're doing. +1 repel range or train convoys. Well, not. Let's do repel range. And so, like, those games, you know, buy a season pack. You know they're going to be coming out. but it feels a little rough paying like $90 for a game at launch. But oh well. But I mean, and like, that's not the worst thing that companies do. Like, the worst DLC practices, in my opinion, are what Rome 2 did. Day 1 content DLC, week 1 content DLC, saying that what they said, that there was no seasons in the game because people's computers were too fucking stupid to handle it, and then they came out with a DLC that had seasons in it. Don't fucking lie to my face. Again, this whole episode's turning into a goddamn rant, and I don't know if you guys care about it or not. But I think I'm going to give it a couple more episodes. I'd like to get one more virtue in. And if you've noticed that some, like, an abnormal amount of turns had changed between the last episode and this one, that is because I forgot to hit the record hotkey and spent half an hour staring at my computer screen playing the game, talking to myself. It is not the first time that has happened. It will not be the last time that has happened. I forgot to hit the record hotkey when I started up the episode, so I got to the end, said my goodbyes, and then realized I hadn't recorded any of it. Oh well, shit happens. It happens less frequently than it did when I first started making videos about 3 months ago. It happened like once a week then, and now it's like once a month. So we're getting better. By we, I mean me. And by better, I mean less often. Alright, we should get a virtue this turn. It's actually starting to chug a little bit. These turns are turns are taking longer to process, which I don't really feel like should be happening because there's like nothing happening on the screen. What is this? Protection from every basic resource. Let's actually try to get the prosperity bonus here. There we go, free virtue. Energy, production towards wonders, or we could go down this way. Let's do this one. There we go. See, that was good. That because I got that by going into tier 1 across the vertical line here, not vertical, horizontal line here. Wow. Got a free virtue. Very nice. So I'm gonna call this an episode here. I actually did record it this time. So, and please let me know if my ranting here is annoying you, or if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Either way, just let me know in a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, how you guys feel about the game, what you think of it so far. I'd like to know other people's opinions, especially the people watching this. I really would like to know your opinions on how you feel about it, and if you'd like to see me do any of the other games I mentioned before. So, if you've enjoyed this, just drop me a like, leave me a comment right down below, and if you're interested in more Benjamin Magnus Plays Civilization Beyond Earth, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.